Hey, what it do, sports world? It's me again. The Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs, is here, y'all. Where passion meets performance and champions are made. I'm your host, Ray Diggs, bringing you the energy, the insight, and the mindset from across the world of sports. From the locker rooms to the big stage, this is where the real ones talk and legends rise, and the motto stays the same. Winners will always win. The Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs. We are here and we ain't going nowhere. Make sure y'all tune in because we're about to go live now. Peace. Hey, what it do, sports world, and welcome to the Winner Circle podcast, man, with me, Ray Diggs, man. Hey, I want to talk about the Angel Reese being traded to the Atlanta Dreams for 2 first-round picks, and why I think that is good and bad to this situation. And I'm going to explain both. Why I think that if Angel Reese takes this right here as a positive thing and look at it as this is my best chance that I possibly can get to win a WNBA championship, this right here would turn out to be one of the best things that could happen to her. Before I get started, man, make sure I hit the like button, the subscribe button, and also the share button. And make sure y'all give me your feedback on what you all think about this segment, okay? Make sure you all keep your negative comments to yourself, man. Hey, at the end of the day, if you don't want to watch it, shit, don't watch it. If you do, hey, thank you all. I appreciate it. But the Angel Reese, as y'all know, a few days ago, Angel Reese was traded from the Chicago Sky to the Atlanta Dream, and the Chicago Sky ended up getting 2 first-round picks for her. Not saying that those first-round picks are going to be good picks, because I think the Atlanta Dreams is going to be a really good team. Also, I think that these picks right here could be in the teens, maybe the 13th, 14th picks. So it's not really going to matter. But they ended up getting 2 first-round picks for Angel Reese. Now, I want to take y'all all the way back with this Angel Reese situation. You know, Angel Reese has been up under a lot of scrutiny lately. She's been very criticized, heavily criticized. Some people say she's not really a good basketball player. It's a 6'3" forward that gets a lot of rebounds, mean bounds, whatever it is. And she only chased stats. Now, some of those games in Chicago, I'm gonna be honest, you could tell that, okay, she's just trying to get double doubles. She didn't care about winning. I think the team, her team, from what I'm hearing in reports, her team did not like her. They hated her, you know, and in the end, the Chicago Sky front office was just like, you know what, too much trouble, too much, not worth the trouble that she's bringing. Even though she was bringing a popularity, they was just like, you know what, we can get 2 first-round picks. Not saying we know they're not going to be good picks, but we just want to get from up under this player. Let's go all the way back to Angel Reese when she was in high school. As y'all know, Angel Reese was one of the top players coming out of Baltimore, St. Francis Academy. She was a top-ranked recruit and the local star in the Baltimore area. Then, you know, it was heavy media attention surrounding her coming out of high school. The pressure as a can't-miss prospect. She ended up committing to the University of Maryland, being from that area. It was must that Angel Reese goes to the University of Maryland. So she ended up committing to the University of Maryland. First of all, she got there, and this right here, what I'm gonna say, you know, when everything starts to like round out, when it comes down to Angel Reese right now. Now, the fallouts was injuries and roles in her role tension. She suffered a foot injury in 2020, 2021 that pretty much slowed up her development. Reports suggest frustration with a role and usage in the system. That's right here what happens when she was at the University of Maryland. So then when she could not do what she wanted to do, I feel like she felt like her progression was pretty much delayed by a foot injury and also a role, her role at the University of Maryland. I think that it was like, you know what? I think it's time for me to go. So she ended up entering the transfer portals after 2 seasons. Now, this right here raised a lot of eyebrows in the nation, because why program? She was expected to be the centerpiece, but things just did not work out with injuries and in the role. I think that, in my opinion, I don't think she developed fast enough for the University of Maryland. I think that when you look at her game, it's more of rebounding. She basically like a rebounder. I wouldn't even say she really, have an offensive game. Honestly, I think that it's more like, she, every now and then she might give you a good spin move or, get a rebound, get it, put it back. So I won't even say she really have an offensive game to really be a centerpiece for a university, But yes, she did ended up transferring to Louisiana State, which is LSU. And then, this right here is what vaulted this LSU team up under Kim Mulkey to a national championship. Then, it comes to the situation with her and Caitlin Clark. Okay, her and Caitlin Clark, in the national championship game in which she hit her with the "can't see me." Okay, Angel Reese taunts her with the jester. She took a lot of major backlash for that. Some people said it was unsportsmanlike. Some people said it was warranted. In my own opinion, I won't say that, it was a bad thing. I think it was good for women's basketball because not only did that propel the WNBA, college basketball, is also propelled them as they got to the WNBA. So I would say that was a good thing, to have a rivalry, kind of like Magic Bird rivalry. This right here was a rivalry that a lot of women wanted. So I think by her doing that, this right here was an amazing thing. So, but when she did that, it took a lot. Caitlin Clark fans did not like it. Then I think Angel Reese fans pretty much pushed back. And I think this right here what made her even bigger. But then she ended up coming back from after LSU won. Joe Biden, pretty much, I don't know if y'all remember, Joe Biden said that he feel like both LSU and Iowa should come to the White House, which that never really happens. The losing team never comes. So Angel Reese pretty much pushed back. She said, you know what, we'll go to the Obamas instead. Now that right there pretty much put a lot of people, like, oh, she talked too much, she very arrogant. But then comes the next season, as she was coming into her junior, I think senior, well, it would have been her senior season. She was coming into her senior year, and she was benched earlier in the season. Kim Mulkey pretty much gave a pretty much vague ass answer to why she was being benched. But then speculation came back that it was locker room issues. It said that it was attitude concern, academic and team rules. Said that she wasn't doing what she needed to do in the classroom. So these things that I'm talking about when it came to her at LSU, and that year, I think that right there was a dark cloud over that LSU team, a team that was fresh off of winning a national championship. I think that they had a really good chance to possibly go. I'm not gonna say go back to back, but they probably could have went to the Final Four the next season as well. But with all the suspensions, I think her and Flajay Johnson was pretty much into it. I seen on social media where her and Flajay's mother was going back and forth. Her mother and Flajay's mother was going back and forth. A lot of people said there was tension there, and I don't think they ever seen eye to eye after that time between Flajay Johnson and Angel Reese. So then this right here, it came to the WNBA. The rivalry continued between her and Angel Reese. Her and Caitlin Clark. She ended up being drafted by the Chicago Sky. Caitlin Clark ended up being drafted by the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark, she have her big followers. Angel Reese have hers. But then she get to the WNBA, and I don't think things worked out. I feel like when you look at her play, she was more chasing. I think her rookie year, she was like, could not roll. She really wasn't that good. She really, so she needed to find something that she was good at. Caitlin Clark, the three wasn't falling. So what did Caitlin Clark do? She added an extra dimension to her game. Caitlin Clark started to get assists. She started to be a complete point guard. So Angel Reese needed something to keep up with Caitlin Clark. This way here was my opinion. So when she said that I'm gonna be a rebounder. So she might get 16, 17 rebounds with 16 points. In a men game, if you get 17 rebounds, nobody really care, man. Nobody really care about rebounds like that. If you get 10 points, 17 rebounds, nobody really care. You might be up there like, hey, yeah, Ben Wallace has 10 points, 17 rebounds. Kind of goes like Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman was a little bit different because not only was Dennis Rodman getting, 20 rebounds, he was getting 20, 25 rebounds. That's a little bit different, man, than you getting 10, 15 rebounds. Nobody really cares about that in the NBA. In the WNBA, they loves it. They feel like, you can get 10 points and 12 rebounds. That's a good thing. So I think that honestly, when I look at this, I think that this right here is what she feel like she could have been the face of the league by doing the rebound, like double doubles. So then it was the media versus the reality narrative. She opened up. She was one of those vocal ones talking about the pay us. We should be paid like the NBA. And I've been one that was really critical of her saying this because I feel like the WNBA will never ever make what the NBA make, because the WNBA is not global like the NBA. The NBA is a global sport. Kobe Bryant, I don't know if y'all remember, Kobe was going to China all the time. That's what really made the NBA really like global. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that she understood that they will never be making 70-60 million dollars a year. I can't see it, especially not while she's playing basketball. They definitely won't be doing that. So then it was like respect for the WNBA players, the treatment by the media and the fans. Some critics say she leaned into controversy, focused too much on branding. I said the same thing. I think she focused too much on her branding. Kind of like you see WNBA players right now, they're pretty much working, getting better. She's Victoria's Secret. And shout out to her, man. Hey, if you get your money, however you want to get your money, you get your money. But I think that when you're career driven, only in your third year in the league, and y'all tell me, when have y'all ever seen a cornerstone player, a player where what's like the biggest player on your team be traded after only 2 seasons? It normally don't happen. Something is wrong there. So when you look at the big picture, man, it's just like, and like I said, now she's going from the Chicago Sky to the Atlanta Dream. The Atlanta Dreams had a hell of a team last season. They say now they have big three. They have Brittany Griner and Alicia Gray and all these young ladies here. Now they feel like they have the perfect opportunity to challenge for a WNBA championship. Now I'm gonna tell y'all like this: if Angel Reese want to stay ahead of Caitlin Clark, if she want to get ahead of Caitlin Clark, she will take this opportunity here. Do I think that the Indiana Fever are going to win the WNBA championship this year? I don't think so. But the Atlanta Dreams possibly can. I think that if she take this opportunity as a stepping stone, because think about it, she got a college championship. Caitlin Clark don't. Now, if she can mess around and go and get a WNBA championship before Caitlin Clark gets one, I think that this right here will propel her brand kind of to the same level as Caitlin Clark is, honestly. But she'll never be as big as Caitlin Clark, and I'm gonna tell y'all why she'll never be bigger. She's bigger in her community, yes. But see, when you sign with Nike and you sign with Reebok, that's two different brands, dude. It's just two different brands. Nike is that brand that's gonna put you to the top. Over here, you got Reebok. I mean, listen, yeah, we love Shaq, but listen, ain't nobody going to buy his shoes. That's all I'm saying. So this right here would be the perfect time for her to buy in, because she's gonna have to buy in, because this right here is the first time. Yeah, this right here might be, it's a bunch of times that she wasn't the best player on her own team, but this is the one time that she probably won't be the second best player. She might not even be the third best player. I mean, some of y'all probably can say that Brittany Griner might be better than her, even though Brittany Griner is old right now. But a lot of people probably say Brittany Griner is better than her. So, but this is the perfect time for her to propel herself with a WNBA championship, if she can buy into what the Atlanta Dreams is going to want to do with her. A lot of people say that last season, they felt like that the players in Chicago were just like, you know what, this girl right here, she get into the game and all she want to care about is getting rebounds and getting her stats and getting her double-double. You know, they got her in the game. She's out here trying to get rebounds and they're down by 36 points. And she's out here trying to grab rebounds and she's out here trying to get 10 points. So to make sure she can keep her double-double streak alive. So a lot of people felt like that right there is something that, you know, it was hurting the Chicago, because they felt like she wasn't, and she did not care about winning. And she's the type of person that I remember she came out a few days ago and said that I'm a winner. I'm always winning. In every situation I've been in, I've always been a winner. And I respect that. I respect that. I'm not going to push back on that. Maybe she is. She's probably is always a winner. But when I look at Angel Reese sees herself as Michael Jordan. When the WNBA and the WNBA fans sees her as, I can't even really say, I would say a female version of Ben Wallace. Honestly, let's just be real. Like she's the female version of Ben Wallace. She gets rebounds. She played okay defense. Her offensive game is just, non-existent, but she's got energy. The only thing that she has that Ben Wallace didn't care is because, she have a big following behind her. She has a lot of Instagram followers. She have a lot of TikTok followers. So she have a big following behind her. But I would say this: confidence versus perception. She plays with swagger. Some love it. Some call it too much. Star power. She got to understand that they're going to be scrutiny, especially in Atlanta. She's at home now. Well, I won't say home, but she's in a place where I feel like they're going to treat her like she's at home. Not saying that Chicago wasn't, but she's in a really good place right now. But the bottom line is this: everywhere that this young lady has been, it's always been issues. When she was at Maryland, when she was at LSU, perfect situation, win a national championship, come back the next season, you ended up getting benched because of multiple things. Then you get to the NBA with the Chicago Sky, and then what? It's the same thing again. It's always something. Now you're in Atlanta. After 2 years in Chicago, you're in Atlanta. This is a perfect situation for Angel Reese if she takes it as an advantage, if she takes advantage of this situation and go out there and play her role. You don't have to be the face of this. You don't have to be the face of this. You just got to make sure that you put your handprint on it. And if you all can go out there and win a WNBA championship, listen, this is going to prepare her. I honestly think she'll be right there on the same level as Caitlin Clark, to be honest with you, because with that one WNBA championship, not saying that Caitlin Clark won't get one, but she'll have hers before Caitlin Clark. That's all I'm saying. So this, like I said, the pros and cons to this. The pros is she can go here and she can possibly win a championship. The cons of it is it's probably going to be the same thing as it's always been. One thing about people is that they don't get better when time. They don't get better as they get older. This right here has been something that she's been fighting ever since she was at Maryland, LSU, the WNBA, the Chicago Sky. So what my prediction is, I think that she's gonna buy in her first year. But I think the closer it gets to the playoffs in the WNBA finals, I think that her true colors will start coming out. And it won't surprise me if she, she's going to want a lot of money from Atlanta. She's going to want the majority of, but she's going to want a lot of money from Chicago, especially with her contract getting ready to come up. Depending on what Caitlin Clark gets, I think she's going to want equal to that. So you see what you're dealing with. I think the Chicago Skies felt like this right here is, 10 points and 10 rebounds ain't worth the issues, ain't worth the headache. If your production is good, they'll tolerate your issues. They'll tolerate nonsense. Same thing I said about Antonio Brown. When his production on the field was matching, as a top wide receiver, the Pittsburgh Steelers was going to put up with whatever he did. The Oakland Raiders was going to put out with whatever he did. But when those production dipped, the New England Patriots said, I can't deal with it because, it's too much. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers said, I cannot deal with it. It's just too much. 50 receiving yards a game, it ain't worth all the scrutiny. So production, if you're out here taking care of business, they'll tolerate you. Trust and believe that. But once those production goes down, they're gonna appear and say, you know what, too much trouble. Headache not worth the issue, not worth, you know, what she's putting out on the court. And I think that in the beginning, I think she'll do good. I think she's gonna be really, really good for them. But then I look at it like I feel like the old Reese will pop back up at some point. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Hey, and thank y'all again for listening to another great segment of the Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs. Until next time, y'all have a great, great, great night, man. Peace.
Mr. Diggs, we're on in 5. Vegas can't be choosers, but grandma chose grace. She raised me on scraps.